Hello and welcome to Tech Deals. Game performance review time, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. We will be playing this today on this Asus 15.6-inch Full HD laptop. I have previously reviewed this computer. I will put a link to that review in the video description below, but in short, this computer is a nice mid-range computer, $530 at the time I did the video. Intel i5 processor, so it's the mid-level Intel chip, 2 cores, 4 threads, 2.8 gigahertz, so it's a good processor. 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 256 gigabyte solid state drive, so it is blazing fast to load programs and boot windows and switch between things. Now, it does not have a dedicated graphics chip in it. It comes with the Intel HD 520 graphics chip. Now, it's a decent graphics chip. I've done a number of game performance video demos on this computer. Some run really well, some don't. If you want to run everything, you do need a dedicated graphics card. Today, we're going to be looking at how well this machine runs Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So I've got the campaign loaded up and I've got it set up near the beginning. We are currently running at 720p resolution. That's 1280 by 720 pixels. It's 1 million pixels, or it's about half of full HD or 1080p resolution. I will show you a couple of different graphics settings as we get into it, but for now, let's go ahead and hit Resume Story. I've got Fraps running. Fraps puts the frame counter up here in the corner, and what that's going to do is tell us how fast the game's running. Now, right now, it looks really nice. It's at 46 frames per second. And 40, but right now it's playing a video. Can I skip this? It hasn't loaded yet. Okay, there we go. Let's skip that and get right into the game. We've got some bad guys to shoot here. Watch the frame counter up here. 18 frames a second, 19 frames a second. Oh, there's some bad guys. Let's shoot them. Oh, we got them. You know, amazingly enough, of course I've played this way too many times. Even at 20 frames per second, it is in fact playable. Switch my ammo out. Now again, this is running at 720p resolution. Here we go. There you go. Amazingly enough, it's playable. It's not laggy. And this is why I show you demonstrations rather than just tell you frame rate numbers. If I just told you this game was running at 20 frames per second, it's very easy to say, what? Well, that's not playable. That's ridiculous. And in some games, it's not. I did a demonstration of Star Wars The Old Republic on this, and at 20 frames a second, it's not playable. Star Wars Battlefront, again, not playable at that frame rate. This is shockingly playable. It's not the best. You're not going to be doing multiplayer at this setting, but it's amazingly playable. Not perfect, but I can absolutely fight the bad guys. Now, in single player mode, keep in mind you can always set the difficulty down a bit. Oh, there's another bad guy. So that, of course, you have some more tolerance for mistakes and whatnot. And I'm going to pause this for a second because I want to change the graphic settings. Now, you just watched that. That was 720p. I'm now going to change this back to 1080p, and you're going to see why we didn't start there. So now I'm setting the graphics 1080p. Just FYI, I haven't changed anything in advance, but it's all default to low. Low everything, everything off. This is a complex game, and to play it on integrated graphics, you have to turn all the detail down. I'll hit apply, yes. So now we're switching to 1080p. We'll go back to the game, and this is not playable. We are running at 10 frames a second, and it's just, I press buttons and then the game delays and then stuff happens. It looks better. That's not even remotely playable. Now here's what's interesting. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 has a feature called render resolution. Now it's currently set to 100%. It was set to 100% before. I'm going to set it to 60%, which is actually the default that the computer came up with. I'm going to hit apply. Yes. Now we're still running at 1080p, but now we're running at 23, 24 frames per second, and it's amazingly responsive. So what it's doing is it's rendering the game at a lower internal resolution than it's displaying. Because displaying 1080p is not hard for the graphics chip. That's what it runs at Windows, and it runs perfect. It's rendering the polygons and textures and details. And so what it does is offer you the option to lower the render resolution while still displaying at 1080p. Now, honestly, to be honest, it doesn't really look any better to me than it did at 720. It really doesn't. Now, is this acceptable? Well, that's a very personal choice. It's playable. Well, we're at 30 frames a second. Understand, if you like to do online multiplayer in Call of Duty, you will need a dedicated graphics card. When you get a whole bunch of real players in here and you're playing online, the performance will drop to nothing. But if you're interested in the story mode, yes, it will do it just fine on this laptop. Now, if you would like to be able to turn these graphics and details up at 1080p and make it look nice, and you want to play online multiplayer in this game, no problem. I've got a machine to recommend for you. Now, it's not going to be this one. I love this machine. For $530, it's a good deal, but not for doing this at high quality or online. What you want then is an $800 machine. I will put a link to it in the video description below, and I've got one actually across the room. I'm going to be doing a review on it in the next week or so. It is a Dell 15-inch laptop, similar processor that has 4 cores and a dedicated NVIDIA GTX 960M graphics chip. Great machine for $800. Highly recommend it. Very nice machine. I'll be doing a review on that. It will play this game at higher quality and multiplayer. So now that you've seen this, is it playable? Yes, marginally. Do I recommend it? Not really. If you happen to have the game and you happen to have the laptop, yeah, you can do it, but it's pretty rough. So, did you like this video? Like it. Did you not? Well, that's okay. Remember to subscribe to my channel so you get notifications of upcoming videos. The button is down below the video, the big red button. If you have already subscribed, thank you. Comments, questions, thoughts, feedback, suggestions, ideas, that's what the comment section is for. I do read them and I reply to some of them, and I certainly appreciate your feedback, suggestions, and comments about this video and any future videos that you would like to see. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.